finding the best explainer may be hard sometimes, since there's literally over 30 choices to pick from in the game. Some may be strong and independent, some may be quick and have a trait of fast mobility, some even can be played as a jungler or other roles without having to adjust much, which can be known as flexible heroes. Well, obviously this is a pain for many Mobile Legend gamers, since it's seemingly impossible for anyone to find out the best of the best fighters, also mostly known as explainers in the game. In this video, we will be exposing the top fighters and explainers that each has their own individual strength abilities, or something that puts them way above every other hero in general. Not only that, I will be giving a strict, detailed version of each hero and explain their individual unique ability, special combos that you for sure do not know about, and even some hidden facts about them. These explainers are suggested for every rank from Warrior to Mythic. As I have concluded, it depends on the overall for them, however, in. Ranks like Mythical Immortals might not be the best, since Immortals have different and harder drafts, which makes some heroes underperform. So are you ready for our list? Before we start, make sure to understand that this is my opinion, and if anyone disagrees, feel free to leave a comment below so I can improve my videos more in the future. Subscribe and like the video as we move straight into the video. Firstly, we have Freya, who was introduced amongst the Land of Dawn and could be known as the angel that was sent from the heavens. She can deal insane damage to the opponents as long as you're close to her. It is no exaggeration when I say that, since it is almost impossible to stop her from the damages, as the attacks keep on spamming, draining your health to 0 in a quick second. However, this hero is insanely bad in terms of long range, so it can be countered by heroes like Moskov, which is a strong, long-ranged damage dealer. We can notice from the limited range it sets up for Freya, which makes her slightly bad compared to the others in this list. One thing to also take note of is Freya isn't only good at her burst of damage, her ult also grants her a shield that is absolutely nutty, and benefits her a lot in teamfights. I once faced Freya when I was using Yin, and the results were awful, and the experience was one which I totally regretted. Even though Freya isn't the best in long range, there is something specifically you can do about it. You can use the almighty spell flicker to surprise your opponents and immediately kill him, as this is 100% unpredictable for most average players to even high-ranked ones. Once paired up with your stun skill, when you use flicker, it will be a devastating hit for your opponents for sure. Next up, we have one of the most underrated heroes in a while. Not sure if it's really underrated and all, but I don't see this hero appear often, and in terms of health regeneration, he can spell the word death to every single hero in the game. And when I mean every single hero, I mean it, even to tanks and other fighters. So here's come the questions. How is Thamuz so deadly despite multiple seasons passing by? Well, even though he was nerfed once or twice before due to its overpowered attributes, he still remains one of the tankiest and damage-dealing fighters anyone could ever face, since his ult is basically just a free pass to immortality. You know what they say, who needs defense items when you yourself is the defense? Obviously, if you use a defense plus attack build, which can be known as a hybrid, you are destined to destroy your opponent with ease. Usually, you can drag the first skill when you are walking, since it grants you an extra speed when applying the skill. And also, it can give a boost damage when you meet an opponent out of the blue. The stacks can easily be triggered once you use the first skill and absorb it back to yourself. Using all these skills and attributes alongside with the most annoying spell vengeance, you will officially be unstoppable, just like Kai in the Kung Fu Panda movie. Well, that's until you meet a stronger fighter than this, which will be mentioned in this video, haha. Speaking about the strongest, we will have Thamuz's dearest adopted son that will soon be crowned the king of the Abyssals. Dyrroth is the pick. He might not be the strongest for some people, and many might despise him. But if you truly master the techniques behind his skills alongside combos with flicker, you will not only shock your opponents but yourself as well. It is exceptionally strong in the early stage, as it can burst through the enemy in just a few seconds. Did I mention how scary it is to get chased by him? I've gotten destroyed by some pro Dyrroth users, and safe to say it's not fun either. It is also a major counter to heroes like Esmeralda, with his poking abilities that seem to have endless potential. In my opinion, it's for sure better than Thamuz in overall stats. But one thing to note down is Thamuz is still mad tanky to deal with. And if you mess up your combos, even as a Dyrroth user, you might still lose. In other words, Dyrroth is more like an executor, since he can easily kill most marksmen and mages without having to try much, but when it comes to dealing with tanks, he might get caused a little trouble. However, he could still win if all the expectations meets up with him, including his build, spell, and the skills opened up to battle. Enough said about these two fathers and sons. We will be going through a huge gap here now. This hero is recently introduced and seemingly dominating the game in some parts. Although some people seem to disagree that Cici is garbage and easy to counter, I would still say that she is a solid pick, especially if you're in the lower ranks or division. If you meet players who don't really understand Cici that well, you can easily have the most fun you'll ever have in just a single match, since you can just dominate and kill them over and over again. How fun is that? I would also like to point out that her damage in late game is highly dependent on whether you're fed or not. But regardless of those points, her early game is one of the most devastating things to be dealt with, especially if you're a mage user or a slightly weaker explainer that tends to have lower HP. She can literally chip your health insanely quick and make you have to retreat back to base, missing a couple minions, or you will have to face getting killed by her. Next up, we have the most iconic and consistent fighter of all time, which is Chou. If you're a Chou user, you should be able to understand how flexible this hero is. There is no doubt he is one of the best heroes when it comes to outplaying your opponents, from baiting them into your turrets to an easy one-on-one flicker combo alongside your ult. This is just the beginning for Chou users, since one simple combo can easily decimate your enemy and impress your teammates. Chou also has a versatile skill set. With his second ability, Shunpo, he can swiftly engage or escape while boosting his damage output. Paired with his first ability, Chou disrupts enemies by knocking them airborne, gaining control in lane. The Way of the Dragon, his ultimate, adds to his outplay potential and damage by providing potent crowd control, allowing Chou to isolate and disable priority targets during teamfights. This combination of mobility, crowd control, and damage potential makes Chou a formidable force in securing experience advantages and dominating the lane. And obviously, he is quite the iconic fighter, which leads to Moonton making tons of pretty-looking skins for our gorgeous Chou. Coming up next will be the tough Terizla.
The rage in my heart has never gone out.
He is a formidable explainer, known for his strength and sustained damage. His passive, Revenge Strike, enhances his basic attacks, allowing him to deal extra damage over time. This attribute makes last-hitting minions and trading blows with opponents in the lane more effective. Terizla's first ability, Execution Strike, provides a reliable crowd control effect, slowing enemies and setting up opportunities for strategic engagements. With his second ability, Revenge Assault, Terizla gains increased movement speed and a shield, enhancing his survivability during skirmishes. His ultimate Revenge Shockwave delivers a powerful area of effect burst, making him a threat in teamfights and securing kills. Terizla's combination of sustained damage, crowd control, and survivability attributes contribute to his effectiveness as an explainer, allowing players to control the lane and make impactful plays for their team. Terizla shines as the best explainer because he's like a tough guy who can take hits without flinching. His high health and ability to stick around make it hard for opponents to push him out of the lane or steal his experience. When it comes to gear, think of Terizla grabbing items that keep him going strong, like ones that let him heal up as he fights. This helps him stay in the lane, earn more gold, and level up faster than his opponents. And in team fights, his ability to absorb hits not only protects him, but also helps the whole team. It's not just about dominating the lane. Terizla's presence shapes the entire game plan and crushes the opponents easily without breaking a sweat. Another hero that can make impactful plays and also create amazing link-ups or setting up the best team fights possible would be Lapu-Lapu. His versatile and potent contribution can lead to various benefits, which some may be known for his hybrid abilities and adaptability. His passive, Hero's Faith, enhances both his physical and magic damage, making him a well-rounded threat in the lane. Lapu-Lapu's first ability, Justice Blade, allows him to engage enemies with a dash and follow up with a sweeping area of effect attack, providing effective wave clearance and harassment. With his second ability, Bravest Fighter, Lapu-Lapu gains a shield and additional movement speed, enhancing his survivability and ability to trade effectively. His ultimate transforms him into a powerful melee fighter, combining physical and magic damage in a devastating area of effect attack. Lapu-Lapu's adaptability, burst damage, and sustainability make him a strong choice as an explainer. Capable of handling various situations and contributing, Lapu-Lapu can also bring a unique flavor to the game, since he can stand out with his impressive mix of physical and magic damage. What sets him apart is that he's a tough hero to counter due to this hybrid nature, keeping opponents on their toes. His hero's faith isn't just about hitting harder, it comes with a shield, adding a nice touch of durability to his kit. But what really makes Lapu-Lapu interesting is the way he seamlessly switches between ranged and melee forms during his ultimate. Picture this. He can poke from a distance or dive right into the thick of things for some up-close action. It's a game changer depending on the situation. Playing Lapu-Lapu isn't just about button mashing. It's about understanding the flow of battle, nailing the right positioning, and timing those abilities just right. Lapu-Lapu isn't just a lane dominator. He becomes this dynamic force in team fights. It's these little nuances that make Lapu-Lapu more than just another hero. He's a strategic, adaptable powerhouse. Lastly, I have a few honorable mentions since I could not fit every single hero here. Ready for the list? We have 3 specially selected heroes here from some research and inspections. Those are Joy, Benedetta, and Yuzhong. They are quite the sauce when it comes to higher ranks, and when you have the skills to back it up. Furthermore, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend using them as they require some depth in terms of learning the mechanics. This is also the reason I didn't include them in the list, since there may be some difficulty and it's not really beginner-friendly in my opinion. This honorable mentions closes up the video as we hope we enjoy watching and liked it. Make sure to subscribe and give it a share to your Mobile Legends teammates as we will continue to produce higher quality videos in the future. Before we end the video, feel free to drop your opinions in something. I want to ask you guys what's your current rank, as I'm quite curious about my viewers and I want to be more engaged with you guys. Alright, without any more talk, I wish you guys to reach your goals this year. Goodbye.